You know, guys, I think I've learned something about myself tonight, and that is that I love self-sabotaging my sleep schedule. It is like 1:30 in the morning recording this. Everyone in my house is asleep. Everyone in my neighborhood is probably asleep. I think I'm the only one still awake. So I figured better time than ever to review Fall Out Boy's Infinity on High. I mean, there's like a moon. Night, night, moon, moon. Hello, my name's Brandon Vinall. I am a gamer, music lover, and aspiring voice actor. And before we get started, I want to thank you guys on the support from the last few videos. There are quite a few of you new here, so welcome to the channel. So before we get into this, since it's my first time reviewing Fall Out Boy, let's talk about how I got to know them and that kind of stuff. So it all started growing up. It's like Linkin Park in a way. Growing up, I would hear their songs on the radio occasionally, or yeah, believe the radio was a thing that us millennials grew up with. Anyways, Big Hero 6 came out, and me being the Disney nerd that I am, I did see that movie. Also, Marvel fan, because guess what? Big Hero 6 is a Marvel property. Fun fact. Yeah, they did. They made a movie, and then the credit music played, and it was Immortals by Fall Out Boy. And I was like, this song slaps. I'm going to look into this band. And then I did, and I was like, oh, I've heard a lot of these songs before. How did I not know that these were them? So then I started actively following them. I found a YouTuber named Crank That Frank who no longer makes YouTube videos. Frank, if you're watching this somehow, hi, I miss you. Patrick Stump is one of my favorite singers ever, next to Tyson Ritter, Freddie Mercury, and among with many others. I have a lot of their albums that I'll be reviewing in the future, but tonight we're going to be talking about one of their most popular albums, their second album, Infinity on High. Before I get into the tracks, let's of course take a look at the packaging for the vinyl record itself. Alright, taking a look at the album art, I actually think it's pretty nice looking and iconic, and like I said, little moon there. Feeling kind of sleepy, very daydreamy. I don't really know what to make of the album art, that being said. I like the sheep there with the little wings. It's like counting sheep that are flying over your head kind of thing. Very sleepy time vibe going on. Looks like you're in a bedroom, maybe a children's room based on like the rug and the carpeting or whatever. Cool little crow there. Love that. Or raven. I don't know. What's the difference? They're the same thing. Love the aesthetic, the dreamy aesthetic. Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High. Like I said, cute sheepy weepy. Looking on the inside here, we got the whole band. We got Patrick Stump just chilling on the bed. And the other three band members. It's Pete right there, I know that. He has a applause sign. So this must be like this is like the whole bedroom, kind of. I'm sure there might be like Easter eggs for some of the, based on some of the songs, like sprinkled throughout here. But really cool looking inner piece of the album, very artistically fun and stuff. And we got the back, which has the track list, and then all four band members once again. I really dig all the album art for this. There's just one last thing here. Some more artwork of Patrick, Pete, and the boys. I believe these might be the lyrics. A lot of vinyls that I've reviewed and will review come with like a sheet with the lyrics and stuff if you want to sing along. Which I think that's really cool that they incorporated that into the vinyl records. I mean, it adds to the worth of getting vinyl records too. So, I love that. So yeah. Basically, all this packaging, really cool. And yeah, pretty aesthetics. So yeah, back in the early 2000s, Fall Out Boy was part of what I call the four horsemen of the emo apocalypse. There was My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco. You could debate Paramore or Green Day, and then Fall Out Boy. And I never understood that until I actually looked at the lyrics on the songs on this album, and I can confirm I see why people would classify Fall Out Boy as an emo band. Like, damn. As you could tell from some of the reviews I've done before, I mean, my first review was the All American Rejects. I'm a big fan of punk rock, so yeah, Fall Out Boy is not going to be the last of these bands you're going to hear opinions from me for. Another thing worth noting before we get into the tracks is that most of the writing for the lyrics are done by Pete Wentz. He's one of the band members, but I will say, like, whenever I quote a lyric or some lyrics, I will say Patrick sings because, that's what he's singing, but it's written by Pete Wentz. So keep that in mind too. So, side A starts with the song Thriller. The album opens up essentially with pretty much a thank you from the band for the support from their first album, Under the Cork Tree, which is also a very good album. I don't have that one yet on vinyl, which is why we're actually starting with Infinity on High, but I plan to get it. But yeah, the song is also, it's like a perfect opener because it's like, hey, thanks for getting us a lot of recognition from their first album. Here's the second. This is going to be the second one. You're in for a ride. They pretty much talk about how they've done so much in their career, yet they've only just started. And that with their music, they want people to enjoy it and escape the shit that's everyday life. So that was essentially track 1. Not much to talk about. Now track 2 is called The Takeover, The Break's Over. Now, a lot of these tracks were actually pretty hard to really understand or like figure out what it's about. So I did look into Genius a little bit. I didn't with this one. I didn't start doing that until a little bit later on. But I just want to let you know, sometimes it's hard for me to understand what certain songs are about. And I didn't understand what this one was about, but I tried my best. But while it's kind of hard to make out what the song was about at first, I think it's about struggling with mental health while also being in a relationship. And this was the main thing that really planted that seed into my head to believe that that's what this song is about. Would you rather be a widow than a divorcee? Style your wake for fashion magazines. Some other lines that made me think about this being the reason why that this song is about that is, they say your head's a prison. Then these are just conjugal visits. People will dissect us till this doesn't mean a thing anymore. And it's a pretty good song and a pretty good follow-up to the last one, honestly. And then we have track number 3, which is This Ain't a Cena, It's a Goddamn Arms Race. Just subtract the goddamn part of it, and that's the title of the song. I love this song. Probably top 10 Fall Out Boy songs for me, and it's tied for my favorite song of this album. I believe most of this song is about using words as weapons, aka shit talking. Throughout the song, Patrick sings about how he's a quote-unquote arms dealer and that he wrote the gospel on giving up. He also sings about how the lies he comes up with are very intricately put together. Oh, jeez, I don't know what that was. And I think this song in general is just about being a piece of shit, and I love it. Relatable, not really, kind of. I guess in my last video I kind of came off as that, but I don't know. While Nintendo is just gaming, that's why Nintendo is the only one I give like a pass to, like make video game consoles. Do we need another PlayStation? We honestly don't. Regardless, throughout the song, Patrick portrays himself as this sort of villain that deals out mean words. But yeah, great song, love it. So this is something you should know about early Fall Out Boy if you don't know this already. They're notorious for like making titles for songs that are very long and nonsensical. This is a prime example of it. This song is called, what's it called? It's so long I have to actually look at my phone. I'm like a lawyer with the way I'm always trying to get you off. In parentheses, me and you. So I'm just going to call the song Me and You if I refer to it because I don't even remember what the title is besides Me and You. I think this song is a post-breakup song due to the pre-chorus starting with the quotes that they're the new face of failure, which means I'm guessing alludes to an failed relationship. Patrick seems to be the one who was broken up with and wishes that they were still together due to him singing about wanting to wake up next to her in the chorus. That being said, I think by the end of the song he says, and the best way to make it through with hearts and wrists intact is to realize 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Which, to me, that hints that This is the third time that this couple is getting back together. They have broken up 2 times before. This is the third time they're back together. So this is an on and off relationship. So I was feeling kind of sad, and I heard that. I was like, really? 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 I don't know, like, I think if you break up with someone more than once, especially, maybe you guys just aren't compatible. Ever thought about that? Side B starts with the song Hum Hallelujah. Now, this song seems to be about how life moves on after a relationship. I believe this is also the first song I went to Genius to find out more about the song. I think each verse and each time the chorus comes on, they're talking about a different girl and a different relationship, really. I think the fact it seems like these relationships tend to last only one night is pretty telling of this. However, looking more into the song through Genius, like I mentioned several times already, apparently Pete Wentz wrote the song possibly about a past suicide attempt, which does make sense due to pills being mentioned several times throughout the song. But yeah, let me just tell you guys something really quick. A relationship ending's no reason to, like, off yourself. Don't do it. You have to end a relationship. Life does go on. People will come and go into your life. You'll meet someone new, and you'll find the one that's for you. This person just happened to not have been for you. Another thing I've mentioned to Hum Hallelujah is that the song that goes Hallelujah, that plays kind of near the end. That they kind of hum that. Hence the title of the song, I guess. Next is the song Golden, which is a total mood change from the rest of the album so far. Because so far, all the instrumentals have still been like that upbeat punk rock sound you'd be used to in early 2000s music. Yeah, it's now sounding a bit more somber, starting off with the piano and just Patrick's voice. And the song also is very short. It's their way of saying that their lives aren't going the way they really wanted it to go, or they were hoping it was gonna go. You know, like maybe living the sweet life isn't necessarily, all sunshine and rainbows. A lot of celebrities and YouTubers and personalities have said this in the past, so it's probably true. And it seems the thing that hurts the most is that they don't have time for relationships, and I get that from the lines, and I knew the lights were too heavy for me, though I carried carrots for everyone to see. And I saw God cry in the reflection of my enemies and all the lovers with no time for me. It's a very somber song with a very different vibe. However, that changes when we get to Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. Which these guys were ahead of their time, because these were like text. It's spelled like how you would text it if you wanted to, like, text as little letters as possible. So, like, thanks for the memes, but thanks for the memories. And we switch back to the upbeatness, and like I said, this is tied with This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race as my favorite song on this album. This song is about a pretty toxic relationship where Patrick catches his girlfriend hooking up with another guy. He emphasizes this with the lines in the chorus saying, thanks for the memories even though they weren't so great. She also doesn't seem to be too upset on cheating with him. She kind of even gloats about it a little bit. Well, according to him, she says, see, he tastes like you, only sweeter. Damn. So you're not even sorry for cheating, you piece of shit? Okay. I hated this character, this girlfriend character. I hate her. I hate cheaters so much. It pisses me off. Why don't you just break up with them? Why don't you, I don't know, maybe it's a more complex situation. I've never been in a relationship. Are you guys shocked? Moving on, we get a song called Don't You Know Who I Think I Am? Don't ya? I think I'm an aspiring voice actor. Where are my voice acting videos? Coming soon. So this is the one where I really had to go to Genius. I could not figure out the meaning of the song. I listened to it like multiple times, and I was like, it's over my head. I don't get it. I guess it alludes to an argument that Pete Wentz had with a friend when they're younger. I didn't make that connection. That's just what I saw on Genius. I guess there was an interview saying this. It was a mess song, but the instrumentals are pretty catchy. I'll give them that. Now we're on disc 2, BB, side C. This one's called The After life of the party. The after being in parentheses. So the lyrics make it out to be about a song about unaliving yourself, I guess they could say. Specifically by overdosing on pills, which seems to be a theme with this album in a couple of the past songs. That being said, I think this is more about cutting people out of your life, like toxic people, people who are a bad influence on you, and that kind of thing. But more people that make you feel like garbage, that make you feel bad about yourself. I believe this because of the chorus where Patrick sings, "Cut it loose, watch you work the room." Basically saying if you cut that person or people out, you can be a better you. You can work that shit. I don't know what that was. You know, they say like work it, bitch. That kind of thing. Work it. I totally agree with this message. I actually had a personal experience where I cut out a couple people with 2023 and late-ish 2022 were really rough for me, honestly. And I cut out like a couple people. But you know what? At the end of the day, it was better for me. My mental state's much better. So, yeah. That being said, if the initial meaning of the song is about unaliving yourself, I do not support the message of this song. If it's the one I'm thinking it is, cutting people out, I do support it. If it's about killing yourself, do not do that. That is bad. That is cringe. Don't do it. Next is the Carpal Tunnel of Love. And I remember really liking this song, but it's honestly, listening to it again, it's actually one of the lower points on the album. I believe this song's about being in a marriage, but a marriage that just absolutely blows. Like you end up hating the person that you married. The lyrics that Patrick's singing in this song doesn't make this relationship sound appealing, like absolutely at all. Like not whatsoever. The song's okay, but like I said, it's one of the lower points for me. I really remember liking this song though. Weird. Next is Bang the Doldrums. This song seems to be a breakup song, but it's because Patrick doesn't think he can make a relationship work. It's kind of sad, actually. He couldn't help himself to say goodbye, so he just kind of wrote her a message saying goodbye, like with her makeup on her arm. I believe that's what the lyrics say. Though in the chorus he says that they're better off as lovers, so he refers to her as an ex-friend until the end. They're either good as lovers or they're just ex-friends. As sad as it is, this one's a pretty fun listen. I did enjoy this one a little bit. Next is the song Fame Under Infamy. This song seems to be about having a big ego and how it can pretty much ruin anything. To support this, the second verse, Patrick sings, "I am God's gift, but why would he bless me with such wit without a conscience equipped?" There are more lyrics that allude to this further by saying that his ego went to his head at the end of the chorus. I gotta say, the instrumentals definitely shine in this song for sure. Side D, the last side, the end of the album is drawing near. So this one, like a lot of Fall Out Boy songs, and this is just how they roll. I don't judge them at all. But at least their older stuff, if you listen to the song, I have a friend who's into Fall Out Boy. He didn't know how to find some of these songs because a lot of the songs that you hear from bands and stuff, you know, you hear the title of the song in the lyrics, but no, not Fall Out Boy. Not always. Because this song is called You're Crashing, But You're No Wave. And I would have never gotten that from this from the lyrics in the song. And this song's pretty straightforward, seems to tell a story about a man on trial. This fictional trial must have been big because apparently in the lyrics they say that, you know, made the paper. And near the end, it's the defendant is found guilty, which kind of sucks to suck in my opinion. Hello, Diddy. And this is another one that I just really didn't care for much. Like, it was very meh. And then we got what's usually the last song on the album, but this record comes with 2 bonus songs. Okay, I gotta take a deep breath for the title for this one. I've got all this ringing in my ears and none on my fingers. That's the full name of the song. Oh gosh, I love Fall Out Boy for these kind of titles in their songs. I love them. I take this song as a breakup song that starts with the person in the song saying how he's made so much sacrifices for her, but he's just ready to end the relationship. Patrick sings, "The truth hurts worse than anything I could ever bring myself to do to you." This alludes that he still doesn't want her feelings, but you know, it's a whole, it's not me, it's you situation. Like, I have a problem with you, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. And the song ends with Patrick singing in his lower range, and that is also how the album normally ends for a closing track, and it is a solid closing track, honestly. That being said, this record includes a couple of bonus tracks, so we're not done yet. So this next one is like abbreviations. The first bonus track is called GINASFS. And I don't know what it stands for. Don't know why I didn't. I usually don't let that slide, but I don't know. The song is another breakup song. I'm gonna admit, okay. You know how if you saw my mic's falling. If you guys saw my first review of the All American Rejects like first album, self-titled, I complained how I got like breakup song routine, like fatigue, love song fatigue or whatever, like in the middle of it. It's taken me a while here, but it's finally starting to hit the whole breakup song thing, because this is another breakup song. He feels like he's meant to love this girl, and that his life is just out of whack without her. Like, she's the one he has to love. And he says he's tried moving on before, after the breakup, saying, "Threw caution to the wind, but I've got a lousy arm." So he just can't move on. It's a solid track, but I do see why it's a bonus track. It's yet another breakup song. And it also reminds me of one of the previous songs on this album. And then we get the closing track for this record, the second bonus song. It's hard to say I do when I don't. And I feel like this song is it's another breakup song, but it has a different tone to it because it feels like Patrick is sticking up to his ex, like sticking himself, like saying fuck you. Kind of like Thanks for the Memories. It also reminds me of how Move Along, the All American Rejects second album, ends with Can't Take It. But we'll get to that when we get to that. That's going to be a special review. Saying things like, when I said I'd return to you, I meant more like a relapse. So basically saying he didn't come back to her, but felt like he had to. Not because he wanted to, because he felt like he had to. Like he was obligated to. Kind of like when you are addicted to something and you go cold turkey, you don't want to go back to doing drugs or drinking alcohol or anything, but your body just feels like you have to have it, you know. Honestly, this track makes a great end to the album because, like I mentioned, most of the songs on this track was Patrick getting his heart broken, while this time it's kind of the other way around. In fact, he's not being cheated on like in Thanks for the Memories. He's just over the relationship. And then the album ends, the song ends, and the album ends with a robotic voice saying, "Now press repeat." Basically saying, okay, you finished listening to the album, time to listen to it again. Start over, start from track one. Bring it back, bring it back. At the end of the day, this was a great sophomore album for Fall Out Boy. I'm glad that they're still together, still doing more stuff. I can't wait to get to their other stuff, but, you know, I like to space bands out and, like, artists and stuff throughout my reviews. So, yeah. That was Fall Out Boy's Infinity on High. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell when you do. Let me know what you thought of the album down below. What are your thoughts on Fall Out Boy? And, yeah. So long and good night.